am. Yeah, my name is Candie. If you're new here, hi, welcome. We are a podcast all about pet parent lifestyle, corgi lifestyle, helping you have a better life with your pets. In my lap is Chuckles, our spokescorg.
I am Catherine, and outside in the backyard where we can't hear them is my corgi Digby and my honorary corgi Calabria.
They like to take down equipment in the studio, so they've been temporarily banished so
Well,
we can finish.
for all you corgi owners that are listening, I'm going to say something, and you're not going to believe me, but it's true. You know how much your corgi barks and barks and barks and barks? Calabria is a cattle dog. They bark more.
Hard to believe.
They shed more.
Hard to believe.
They're just more corgi than a corgi.
Hard to believe.
I know.
But honorary corgi, nonetheless, part of the corgi committee. We
That's
also
right.
have Tito Bandito and Mortimer Barnabas. Those are Chucky's brofers, and they are part of the corgi committee. And we have just recently said goodbye to our dear sweet Booger, the only girl in the corgi committee. So we are grieving here.
Yes.
But we're passionate about what we do.
We
So
are.
we're back in a big way.
We are.
And if you're new here, please like and subscribe. We appreciate you coming. If you have been listening the past 6 seasons, thank you for sticking with us over 130 episodes.
And we would like to ask you to just take a moment and check. Did you like us? Are you subscribed? That's so important for us. And we thank you in advance for double
Is
checking.
that like check your fly, homie?
It's like check your fly, homie.
Yeah. Check your fly, make sure that
Well,
you're following us.
And I noticed this too. You watch certain YouTube videos and then you get fed those videos over and over again. And if you're listening, please just go to YouTube and subscribe
And download for
and
us if
download.
audio, yeah.
But
Follow.
I found this too. I look and I did not subscribe.
Not subscribe the way you think you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Instagram as well. The Instagram
Instagram
shorts,
too.
you don't know if
Right.
you're following. Yeah. Perfect. Well, thank you. We're happy to be here. We have a creator series as well. We like to connect with other corgi parents.
Yeah.
So today
we have a friend.
We have a friend that we brought on. So if you follow Nacho on the socials, and if you will know Nacho. If you don't, then you should. But Nacho's mom is here with us and going to talk about what she's working on, starting with, corgi-centric pet businesses. So welcome. Tell us all about it.
Hi, guys. How are you guys doing? Hi, Chuckles over there. I'm doing good in LA. How are you guys?
We're cooling down in Phoenix, so yeah.
We're surviving.
Yeah. Well, hi, guys. I am NachoCorgo's mom. I'm out in LA. My dog Nacho inspired me to do so many amazing things. I originally just started a Instagram account thinking, I'm just going to post some pictures of my dog. And then next thing you know, I'm meeting other corgi people in LA, then attending corgi meetups, then the parties, throwing birthday parties. Then you're getting caught up, and then you're getting corgi things like your cups. Then you're just
getting
crazy.
Quick.
Yeah, getting dog mom. Now you're the crazy dog mom now. So
that's I experienced that. It started innocently enough, and then you go down this dark path.
This tunnel. And originally I started the page because I was flooding my personal Instagram with just dog photos, and everyone's like, okay, you're really obsessed with your dog. And then it just became its own thing. And I just feel like also, Nacho is 8 years old. I think 8 years ago, just starting an Instagram page was just so different back then from now, like people, I think, were having a lot more fun because you're just posting whatever. There weren't much videos, but that's how we really grew our account and really connected with great people like you guys. So it's just, I think it's just really amazing that you have your friends, your life, with your family, but now you have a whole separate lifestyle with just your corgi and your corgi's friends.
Yeah, 100%. That's my whole life. And Kat, I just kind of smashed her. I almost kidnapped you and shoved you in the van in this life.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty
I
much.
fostered a corgi, which wound up being Kat's corgi, and now she's part of the show and part of this whole corgi.
Part of the whole corgi thing. But I
Yes.
think more than just having the friends and everything, we recorded, we batch record, and we're talking about some of the groups. So whether it be on Facebook or Instagram has groups, and there's so much information out there, and
Help each other learn.
help each other. And
Mm-hmm.
I think more than that, it's, oh, thank goodness I am not alone. I'm not
Yep.
the only person going through this. So yeah, I love how you started a page, and then it's too much
Now I
bad.
can't get out. It's like
Yeah.
it's too late. You're a part of
Yeah,
the cult, and here we are.
Certifiable. Yeah.
in the
Listen.
corgi mafia, if
So-
you will.
So since we're getting that deep, tell us how Nacho came to be. Like, how did you decide that you wanted a corgi and that you got Nacho? Like, give us that backstory.
Oh yeah. Actually, I think any of my friends that knew me for so long, you had your college phase and then you're like figuring life out, but also just figuring out the fact that, I think I'm ready for a new dog. Cause when you lose a dog, I know you just lost books, but it just if you have one dog, I feel like you have to wait a little bit. And I always had my eye on like a corgi, but I've also heard so many bad things about like backyard breeders, like just a lot of things. And it actually took me 4 years until I got Nacho. And the way I got Nacho was I found a corgi on my friend's page and I was like, oh my God, this corgi's so cute. I want one so bad. And she was like, actually, I did all my investigation. I know where she lives, XYZ. She's like a PI basically. And she found all this information about this breeder. She does like show dog corgis, blah, blah, blah. So, long story short, she basically told me that they had a few tri corgis left. And I just applied for it. And then we ended up getting Nacho like 2 months later. And
Aw.
it's weird because I actually stopped looking in that 4 years, but it just happened like, timing is everything.
Yeah.
And I just remember she told me like, oh, he has a tiny little overbite. Is that okay with you? Like, you can wait, and be on a wait list. And I was just like, honestly, I'm not going to be a show dog mom. Like, I just want, I just want a companion. I just want a corgi. Like, I just want
Right.
to, yeah. So that's how I ended up getting Nacho. I did see like all these videos before even getting him. And at that time, I thought, oh my God, he's so rambunctious. He's like such a leader. He's so cute. He's so funny. But then those personalities came into the house and then it was like RIP after. I was like, what did I just sign up for? Like, he's an alpha dog. Like, he's so crazy. And I was like, oh my God, I should have got the runt,
Yeah.
So, but I think Nacho has such a big personality. I don't regret it one day.
Yes.
He honestly is like one of my soul dogs, and he's so funny. And I think all corgis are pretty funny, and here we
Well,
are.
I love that you bring that up though. So like being a dog trainer and this show, like we try to tell people what that very thing you're talking about, what you're actually getting into by getting a corgi.
Exactly.
They weren't bred to be quiet background dogs. And
No.
these people that want this,
Mhm.
lap dog that just hangs out around the house and is cool being in the back. No, they're going to rule your life.
Right.
And those
Mhm.
of us that have them wouldn't have it any other way. We like that, yeah, I'm going to be along for the ride versus you be along for my ride. And
Right.
I think that, you harness that and you could use that in advantage for training because they're bred to be herding dogs. You don't
Yeah.
want them taking guff from
They're
someone,
working
right?
dogs, and I think a lot of people has a misconception like, "Oh my God, the queen had a like she had a corgi wrangler." You guys, like she had people helping, but honestly,
She's
sometimes I
queen.
don't. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I don't even recommend a corgi as your first dog if you don't have no
No.
idea because as like you said, training dogs, like I still train Nacho doing dog agility. They need a job, even though he's 8 years old. He just imagine like being in a room for like 3-4 days doing nothing. They're going to have that pent up energy. And if you don't know how to train your corgi, that's when people rehome their corgis. Like, how many times do you see bite problems on corgis? They're nipping, they're hurting, they're tearing up the stairs. There's so many things that can happen if you don't train your corgi. But it's not just corgis. You got to put the time in.
Yeah. And they need a certain level of engagement and enrichment, and they do need a job. But I love that you said about the queen. So we learned this. We had the author of the Queen's Corgi on, and she did a lot of research, and she gave us some really interesting information about how when she was researching what the queen liked about them, and that was that they are a little bit punk rock. They are a little bit bend the rules, don't really want to comply, because she had so much structure and control in her life.
Yes.
That was very attractive to her. And I don't know that I've loved a quirky story more.
Yeah, and the queen was also in her own way a little punk rock. I've seen documentaries. She
Going
was
against the grain.
Yeah, she would go a little against the grain, and she loved practical jokes. Her cousin was speaking about her, and she loved practical jokes. And so it's kind of like, the way corgis operate with this little sneakiness that they have.
Sass.
That's sass.
Yeah. Kindred spirit.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I mean, they're all sassy. I mean, it's in their genetics.
Things. That's one of my favorite things. I love to train the dogs that give you the challenge, that kind of push back and go, yeah, make me. And one of my favorite stories to tell is I had a client that had a corgi, and it was her first dog, and she was dealing with some of the resource guarding and some of the, kind of lunge. And so we worked on some of that. And so once he had some training, he was doing better. I said, why don't you come over to one of the birthday parties we have? And so I invited her out, and she comes to me and she says, this is really interesting to see him in this environment, because they all act like him.
I know. Whenever they do that pool party, I just feel like it's like even crazier, because they're like, oh, you're crazy, I'm crazy, we're all crazy, yay, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, what the helly, so
Yep.
Welcome to our tribe.
Yeah, welcome to our
they
tribe.
Get it out.
Welcome to the cult.
Yes. The cult of Korg.
True.
So now that we've had that nice introduction, so you're working on a business, and it's in its infancy from what I understand, but you're doing some exciting things. So we would love to have kind of an intro of what you're working on right now, what your main objective inspiration is, kind of give us a little bit of sneak peek, if you will.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start, because I feel like a small business owner, like you go through so much. But basically, we are Pawsitive Management with a PAW, paw. And we originally started during COVID, I think 2021. And we just did a small event, just trying to raise money for the fires, because, we live in LA, there's fires all the time. And, it was an event with like, I think 250 people, 300 at most. And, we just wanted to do something fun, since we were just all locked in the house, and wanted to create a fun event. And I don't know, that's where it really started. It was our first Pup-A-Ween at the LA Historic, working with Cargo Snack Shack. And we had no idea it would sell out, but we worked with small business vendors. And ever since then, we've just been uplifting brands that are mindful, small business owners, and we vet every single one of them. We just wanted a chance for people to come together, a community. Because obviously after the pandemic, everybody was like going kind of crazy, because, you're just locked up in your house. So I'm not even like, everybody wants to do something with their dogs, so I think that event just kind of brought community. It also gave awareness to a lot of the small businesses, and we just had a great time. And we started activations like photo moments, and now like I think people come to our events just for that. So yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And right now, so what you're working on coming up, if we're gonna talk about
Mhm.
sort of the future, because like you said, you are adapting, you're pivoting,
Mhm.
I hate to overuse pivot, but you're
Yeah.
kind of moving with as everything flourishes, so we don't want you to have to
Mhm.
give away too much of that, but, you're working on something here coming up pretty soon that you could use our help with. So if you can tell us about that, and then kinda call to action, how we can help as,
Yeah.
listener, viewer, audience.
Yeah, so like I said, it started 2021. Then we did all these events, and I don't know if you've been to any, but I know Bacon's mom's been to some stuff. We did last year,
Oh, the
which was
Paralympics,
really
yeah.
big for us, which was at the LA Coliseum, first dog event
Ooh,
ever in the history.
nice.
Now we're doing something called Lantern Paw Festival, and we'll be doing that annually. So we're doing that next year in February. But the next two events that we're working on next is Floofy Fall Fest called at the Row with Pretty Good Boy, and that's going to be October 26th. We used to do a lot of dog events there during the summer,
Oh,
and
that's
then
right
the
after
mo
Corgi Beach Day.
Yep.
oh
Day after
yeah,
Corgi.
so it's right after Corgi Beach Day, and then it'll be at the Row. Our events are a lot different from Corgi Beach Day. They're one, not in the sand, and then you don't have corgis barking at you. It's a little different. I think a lot
But
of
it's good
our
to know
dog
for timeline. If
yeah,
somebody's
timeline.
traveling to LA
Right.
for Corgi Beach Day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm kind of sad because if we're doing that event on Sunday, I don't know. I might just have to get like Nacho on a corgi bus or something and have him not have FOMO.
Mm,
But that
True.
event's happening on 10/26. And also like what's kind of special about our dog events is there's like breed meetups at our dog events. So there's like Schnauzer meetups, corgis, doodles, Frenchies, the Weens. Unfortunately, our event's going to be at the same time as the Ween Fest on 10/26.
okay.
Okay.
But the most important event that we're doing right now, I mean, all our events are important, but it's going to be on 11/15, and that is called Race for the Rescues. And that's going to be at the Rose Bowl. We are
Ooh.
actually, yeah, we're not the event.
Park property.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not the organizers, but this is their 20-year anniversary, which is a milestone for them. And the founder, Lisa, she's been doing like God's work, literally working with so many great animals. And she's not just doing dogs and cats, but last year too, she also has a rescue called the Rescue Train and started doing this spay and neuter clinic that's mobile all
Yeah.
around LA.
Amazing.
Yeah, which is like really, it's a real big deal. So
So needed. So
so
needed.
needed, and she works so hard. And so the next event for them will be Race for the Rescues, and that event will benefit over 15 small rescues, not the big ones, but the ones that actually need help. And one of the benefiting organization is Queen's Best Stump, Susan, the fairy god mom.
And if
That
you're new
does.
here,
Mhm.
our
Yes.
100th episode was with Susan of Queen's Best. They've been on the show a few times.
Yes,
Yeah,
they have.
we love Susan.
Yeah. And so Susan's amazing. When we used to do the corgi puzzles, like we donated so much, to the corgis. But what I learned about rescues is that, even if it's like 5,000, 10,000, like it doesn't cover too much. I
No.
just found out like in a month, like a regular shelter is like $30,000 to like upkeep everybody,
Yeah.
So when I started doing positive, I just had an eye opening thinking, oh my God, I raised like $5,000, so much money. But then that's like 1 week of work. So
Yeah.
I think Race for the Rescues is going to be so great because you can create teams, or you could join a team like Queen's Best Stomp, or you could do an individual and then, you know, have a goal of like what you want to do. Like, for example, Nacho, like my goal is to raise $1,000 for Queen's Best Stomp. So everyone's getting involved. It's a race. There's a 5K, there's a 1K where if you want to run with your dog, you can do that. It's just a big, really, really positive event. And so that's what we're doing next. We're just trying to get more people involved, get the word out. we're basically volunteering our time here. So,
Oh,
we'll
wonderful.
do we'll do the activation. We're just trying to connect people, do a little PR for them. I might be all over the place, but it's just it's going to be a great event, and we just hope, we're able to continue saving like animals, because it's not just about dogs and cats. It's for horses. I think there's different rescue organizations involved. So if you go on racefortherescues.org, you can find out all the information for that event.
And is the word "for" spelled out FOUR, or is it the number?
FOR.
Oh, FOR. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Is it FOR or the number 4? Sometimes they do that.
Race
Yeah.
FOR.
It's race
FOR.
for 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 the rescues. Yeah. So .org. So you can Google
.org.
it too. So many brands will be supporting this event. And yeah, we just hope that, a lot of people will participate.
Yeah. So the best way is to go to the website. You sign up. So it's registration, right? Like you can
Yeah,
pick your
registration.
team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you could be an individual. You could join a team. So there's other rescues involved. So let's say I'm a cat mommy, and
Right.
I want to donate to the cat, and I want to, donate to the cat that's a cat organization that's in the website. Then you could do that. And Lisa for Race for the Rescue, she vets every single rescue. So she knows that they're doing great work. They also need the funds. There's so much stuff that she does that she doesn't get credit for. So I'm just glad that
amazing.
they're, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's one of and I'll just touch on that real quickly.
Yeah.
That's kind of been, we live in such a divisive world, unfortunately. Recently, everybody takes a stance on everything, but it's been sort of recent. Rescues were kind of, they've always been held in high regard, and there's been a little bit of vilification, if you will, of some that are mismanaged. It's just like one bad apple can spoil a whole bunch.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
There have been some that have caused this vilification and scrutiny of other rescues
Right.
because the assumption is, well, if they're running like that, how do you know they're not running like that? So
Exactly.
anybody listening that's like, what? Why would you need a vet to rescue? A rescue is a rescue. These types of things have happened that have caused some kind of remanagement, right? Like relooking at it. So that's a
And
very valuable thing.
yeah, and I think it's so awesome that she does look for that. Like, especially, it's not even like money sometimes. It could also be like the care of the animals. Like, how are they caring for the dogs and cats? Are they putting 10 cats in one crate? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just don't know. I mean, we work with so many rescues just because Positive gives back. Like, every event we do, we give back to a rescue. So, or, uplift the rescue, or have a rescue come out and show their puppies or cats or whatnot. But I think it's so important that we vet like whoever we work with, especially nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah, and I think what you're saying, it's the big thing is that any kind of volunteer organization, the need is always going to supersede the resources. And so even well-meaning organizations can sometimes make mistakes because they're just trying to manage a lot with less.
Yeah.
And I think that vetting is kind of helps, because what is the issue? Is it that it's mismanaged out of malice or, personal gain? Or is it mismanaged out of, we really don't have the resources, we don't know how to grow, we don't know how to outreach, we don't know how to make it better? I mean, I think all those things sort of come full circle, right?
Yeah. Oh, my sound. Hold on. Okay, yeah. And also, I think, I don't know. And then there's Nacho like on the ground. I'm sure this happens a lot. I can pick him up. Hold on.
Nacho is going to grace his beauty on camera.
Hi.
Hi, bud. Tuckles, look, it's Nacho.
Oh my God, he's so heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like, also it's dinner time, so he's like, hey, what's happening? But I mean, he's still got 20 minutes left, so I don't even
How dare you?
I know, but corgis are sassy, right? So
yeah. I mean, if dinner is 20 minutes late,
1 minute,
it's 2 hours late.
Yeah.
And if dinner's a minute late, it's still 2 hours late.
Oh, I'll get
so-
a talking to.
But
Yeah.
at least you guys are in Phoenix and you guys don't have that time change. When we have our time change here, which I think we voted on not ever doing that, but I mean, Jesus takes the wheel. But literally, he was like asking me for food at 4 o'clock, and it's like, it's not. It's no, it's not 5.
You
But
have to go up the human schedule, buddy.
Yeah. Oh my god, this dog. But yeah, back to Race for the Rescue. Yes, like that's happening November 15 at the Rose Bowl, and it's an early start. It's 7 a.m. for registration. I mean, it's a race, right? So it's
right.
I don't know, something about the run clubs, all the running people, they're up early.
Yeah, they're masochists.
So. Apparently. So with Race for the Rescues, do I have to be in LA and show up at 7 a.m. at the Rose Bowl?
No, you don't. You can also this is you could do this globally. Like you could just be a couch potato. You could register as a couch potato and just be like, hey, my goal is to raise, like right now, Queen's Best Dump, their goal is $10,000, but they only have $370. So they have a long road to go. It's like 44
we got some work
days.
To do, Corgi Nation.
Yeah, Corgi Nation. We gotta step it up for Susan over there. So, you you could just do a couch potato, make a team, Team Chuckles. You could do Team Corgi Town USA, and then just say, this is my goal, $2,000. And you don't have to hit it, but it'd be nice. It could just be like $50. It doesn't matter. I think as long as you're helping and spreading the word and doing the work, I think that's amazing.
Yeah, the work we do with Shade Out DM, I mean, just the outreach and the visibility helps.
Yeah.
Because even if somebody's not prepared to donate or support at that time, they now become aware that this is an organization that does need help. And yeah.
And I really love and respect that, because Shade Out is people get corgis and they don't know, the number one thing is IVDD, and then what happens, and then you're in wheels, and it's a lot of work. I think our mutual friend
they need to listen to our show.
Yes.
They need, yep. And Kilo and JoJo's going through something like that, and
yeah, JoJo has DM. Yeah,
DM, and I think it's really, really sad, and she's become such a voice for it now too. We just did a raffle for her. She just threw a party, and just I think we raised a couple hundred
for Straight Out TM at JoJo.
Yeah, and then we're just making gift baskets, and I'm like, I don't even need I don't need gifts. Just please donate them, and let's just raise some money, So I think you're doing an amazing job, and I think people really need to know more about DM. It's a thing, and it really happens a lot in senior corgis, and they don't really talk about it. And it is literally every corgi mom or dad's nightmare. It's just
and for anyone who's listening, viewing, if you're not new here, then you probably heard us talk about it. But if you are new here, IVDD is a blanket term for intravertebral disc disease, and it sort of blankets a few different conditions of the spine. Degenerative myelopathy is canine ALS that also affects the spine, but it affects every single process. Matters of the spine, obviously, you have nerves through there; those affect other processes as well because of where it is. But the difference is that IVDD, the way it presents, it's painful. It hurts.
Yeah.
It can be chronic. It can be permanent. It's anything, again, anything of the spine. Here is the very unfortunate part of being Corgi fans and where it comes to IVDD. Every single dog with the dwarfism gene is at risk because you don't get the dwarfism without the gene that creates it. The gene that creates it puts them at risk because long backs and short legs. There are multiple copies of them. I know less about this, so I'm only giving a broad general view, but there are multiple copies. If they have more than one copy, then the risk is higher, which means you really need to be careful about how your corgi's moving, that they're getting enough exercise, that they're not getting too much weight on them, that they're not jumping more than they should. IVDD can present at any age. Now, that could be injuries. A lot of times the parents don't know what caused it. And there's a surgery. We had Newton, the corgi, on. Newton had the surgery. He recovered. He's doing awesome.
Yes.
The surgery is somewhere around $10,000, and it's a 50-50 chance that they will walk again.
Right.
The earlier, the better. So it's a shoot if you do that. Now, degenerative myelopathy, however, that has 3 different presentations. They're either carrier or at risk. Some have both copies of the gene, which puts them at very high risk. I had Hammer. I went through the journey. Do not wish it on anyone. You see your dog
Right.
crumble in front of your eyes.
Yes.
But that generally presents later in life, anywhere from ages 8 to 12, generally speaking. It affects over 100 different dog breeds. We have been told that the carriers are 63% of corgis carry the gene. However, there have been some recent talks in the medical community saying it's more like 83%, which is disturbingly high.
Yes.
But
So high.
so high. And it's an awful thing, but we tell everyone, if you're going to purchase from a breeder, don't purchase from a breeder that doesn't do genetic testing. There's lots of arguments. I'm not going to get into those weeds because we've done lots of episodes about
I know.
it. There's lots of arguments. I always try to have an open mind, but I've not been convinced that it's okay seeing what the animal and the parent goes through. Your breeder should be testing before breeding and pairing. IVDD, we can't escape liking the dogs that have the dwarfism gene, but now you're aware. Now you have those basics, and Candie will end that tangent there. But that's all part of this. And so, coming full circle, talking about the rescues, because animal rescue is so important. There are always more animals available than there are homes to take them.
Yep.
And the
That's
dogs, the
true.
cat, the kitties, all the lovely little animals, they need you more than you need them.
Absolutely.
So when we come to things like this that support these organizations, that's why it's so, so important. Did I wrap that up pretty good? Like, do I feel like we made a good message there?
Yeah, and I think it's really important for you to just not say it once, twice. I think there's a person that's always getting a corgi every single day,
Yes.
and they just don't know. Like this conversation is not out there for them to know. They're just thinking of, I want that cute dog. They don't understand that, there's a backyard breeder and there's breeders, and that yes, you can even get temperament testing on, good breeders, reputable breeders will do the testing. Backyard breeders won't. And usually the backyard breeders will cost more to get a corgi.
It's crazy.
It might be $4,000 or $5,000, and you might be saying, I got the best corgi in the world, but
Nope.
actually it's actually the reputable breeders there's some in California, and they're everywhere nationwide or worldwide, but they will do the testing. They will do the temperament testing, the testing that you were just talking about. I forgot the term for that, but there's a whole chart. Yeah, there's a whole chart of that, and then especially if like breeders won't let you come and see the dog too, that is a red flag. I mean, there's so many red flags, and I think it's so important that you talk about it every episode almost, because you don't know who will look onto your episode and be like, I never knew that. I wish someone told me that.
We get new audience members all the time.
All the time.
I've learned so much.
And here's the thing, with race for the rescue, rescues, plural.
Race for the rescue.
Race for the rescue, singular.
Yeah. racefortherescue.com.
Rescues with a S.org.
Okay, it is plural. Okay.
It is race for the rescues with the S.com.
Because we're helping so many rescues, not just one.
Yes.
That's right. Absolutely go there and sign up, start a team, make your donation, $1, $10, $100, $1,000. Every dollar helps the rescue of your choice. If you can foster. I'm a foster pet mom. The rescues need this. The rescues need this in order to keep their doors open, in order to keep adoptable dogs adoptable. And what I mean by that is, a dog lives in a rescue, a cat lives in a rescue too long. It's fearful, it's stressful. Suddenly they have behavioral problems. So if you can foster, if you can't foster, almost every rescue out there has a day with the dog. So you get to go down there,
you can bust them out, man,
and play with them, take them for a walk, bust them out. that does so much to keep them or make them adoptable in some way.
And reach out to your favorite rescue. They always
Yeah.
need help. I mean, Susan, we know, has the ranch, and she says if you can't foster, if you're not able to foster, you can come in and help for a day or help for a
Yes.
couple hours. Not all rescues are set up like that, but it's a great idea to reach out if they're local to you or it's your favorite. Yeah,
Yep.
Right.
And
help is always needed.
Yeah. And I think one more touch point to that is I think a lot of people are like, oh my God, I don't see all these dogs on social media updated on their website or whatnot. But also these small rescues, the small ones, they don't have time to do social
no.
media. And I think it's so important that like you do your own research too, because they just don't have enough volunteers. They just don't. And like, not enough fosters. I mean, I sometimes go over to a rescue and I do their walks because they do that 2 p.m. walk, and you're just
Mhm.
helping out by grabbing a dog, and it's good for everybody. You're walking, you're saying hello to a new dog, and it's just needed. So yeah, I mean, I think the smaller rescues, they don't get enough, cred. So
That's
Yeah.
true.
that's
Yeah.
that's just my thing here.
And
Yep.
absolutely. And perspective is everything. And I think, and I'll reference Melissa from East Coast Corgi Rescue. We've had
Mhm.
that conversation with her on here as well.
Mhm.
People often don't have perspective. Sometimes it's hard for them to see outside themselves. And the
Mhm.
thing that you have to realize with rescues, and that's if you are trying to adopt and you're putting an application, you're trying to foster, you're in a different region than that rescue serves.
Mhm.
Don't get frustrated. Please realize these are volunteers. These
Yes.
people do this, they pour their heart and soul. It's a very what do they call it? Compassion fatigue.
Yeah.
It's a very compassion fatigue draining activity that they do because they love the animals and want better for them. So they're giving all of this completely out of the love of their hearts. So
Mhm.
keep in mind if you are, however adjacent, if you're trying to do any of those things, that you're dealing with volunteers and the resources are always limited.
Even
Yeah.
the even the paid staff. So I also work with county. So county is more paid staff.
You know? But you
Right.
don't see those people
I
going on Hawaiian vacations or buying yachts.
no, I can stop by county any day of the week, and they are open 7 days a week. I think anytime. I think if I drove there at 3 o'clock in the morning, I would see, my connections, my buddies over there. They're putting in a lot of time, a lot of hours. So please be kind and compassionate.
Yeah, animal care is not 9 to 5.
Mm-mm.
They need things
No.
365 like we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just glad for this platform, and I think you guys are doing amazing, just uplifting, the
Thank
voices
you.
for the rescues. Like I think, I started with Nacho, but in the end of the day, like the goal is like the awareness, the education, the rescue, like things that actually matter,
Yeah.
not just a cute photo. I mean,
Yeah.
they're always great, but you know, I think that you guys are doing a great job, just even with
Thank you.
shade out DM. So hats off to you
Thank
guys.
Well,
you.
we think you're
Oh,
doing a wonderful job.
Yep.
And again, it is
Race for
race
the
for the rescues.
rescues.
Race for the
yes, race for the
rescues.
rescues. And also, like, if you're in LA or want to do cool dog stuff, you can always follow us on Positive Management. That's MGMT. People usually spell it out, but it's MGMT. And you could see all our new events happening. Like I said, we have Lantern Paw Festival to kick off next year. It's always so much fun. So, yeah.
And it's PAWS,
Yes,
positive.
positive. Yeah.
And I will share
PAWSI.
those links down in the description box, but for anyone listening. And how can we support your business? Is this by attending these events?
Attending, just like Race for the Rescue, just putting the word out there, reposting. I think like everybody's just everyone's on Instagram jail lately, so just
Yep.
a repost would be so great. And
Share to
yeah,
your
like
stories, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
most of our events are free anyway, so like I think just attending is great too. You're supporting small businesses, and yeah, and all the brands we work with, we're very mindful. We look at every ingredient that's in a kibble or fresh food, whatnot, just to make sure we give the best food or product to our dogs so they could live a longer life.
That's wonderful.
Amen to that.
Amen to that.
Well, thank you so much for spending
Thank
time,
you.
and can't wait to see you and Nacho again real soon. And
Yeah.
hopefully
Maybe
we'll
at a
make
pool party,
Heck yes.
Heck yes.
Take
right.
care of yourself. Have a good rest
Thank
of
you
your evening.
guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We
Bye.
appreciate you.
Bye.
Bye, Nacho.
Bye, Nacho.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Please go to racefortherescues.com. Pick your favorite rescue. We're friends of Queen's Best, so
We are.
we're definitely supportive of that. But any rescue organization that's doing good work, especially the ones that are vetted, we highly recommend any support that you can give. If you can sign up, start your own team, attend the event, and follow our friends at Pawsitive Management as well. Check out those cool events.
Yep.
And we are here for you every Thursday. New episodes.
Yes.
Candie and Chuckles.
And Catherine and Digby and Calabria.
And Mortimer and Tito. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.